Welcome to MES College Marambali e-learning.
Hello everyone, my name is Razina Ashraf, Assistant Professor, Department of Psychology, MES College Marambali. Today we are going to look into perception. Under perception, we are going to look into the meaning of perception, definition of perception, principles of perception and the factors influencing perception. We will start with the meaning of perception. What do you mean by perception? When a stimulus comes to us in the form of light, sound or smell, it stimulates our sense organ. So, we have 5 sense organ, right? Eyes, ears, nose, tongue and the biggest sense organ, skin. So, the stimulus coming to the sense organ will produce a sensation or a message which is carried to brain to form the perception. So, brain is responsible for perception. Sensation will be happening in the sense organ level, but perception will be happening in the brain level. I will tell you an example. When the nice smell of pizza comes, sensory receptors in the nose will get stimulated to produce a sensation of some sort of smell, and this message will be carried to the brain. At this point, we recognize the smell correctly as the smell of pizza. So, perception is a process which requires our attention. Attention is a key factor in perception. So, when we attend to a stimulus, the sensation is created and then forms perception. For example, it is only when you pay attention, you see the word attention here and will understand the meaning of it. So, now how do you define perception? Perception is a process of interpretation of a present stimulus on the basis of past experience. Example, a child seeing cat. For the first time, he won't understand what it is, but for the second time, he or she will recognize it because of the past experience of seeing a cat. Perception is a way or process in which we select, organize and interpret sensory input to achieve a grasp of our surrounding, according to Barron and Misra in 2014. So, we don't simply see or hear things. We always try to relate it or organize it in a meaningful way. So, we have organizing principles. Stimuli in our visual field are organized into a form and perceived more meaningfully than they appear. It was Gestalt psychologists who proposed the Gestalt principle, which states that the whole is better than the sum of its parts. They believe that brain create a coherent perceptual experience by perceiving a stimulus as a whole than perceiving discrete entities. For example, when you see a car, you see it as a whole car rather than just tires, windows, doors, seats, etc. Right? And we have principles of perception. The first principle here is figure and ground relationship. According to this principle, any figure can be perceived more meaningfully in a background and that figure cannot be separated from that background. Have a look at the figure below. You can see a white flower vase in the background of black color or 2 faces in the background of white color. Let us have another example. Letters written with a white chalk piece are perceived clearly in the background of black color. This is figure and ground relationship. We have another set of groupings principles. First one is proximity principle, second one is similarity principle, third one continuity principle, fourth one closure and the last one is symmetry. Proximity means nearness. The objects which are nearer to each other can be perceived meaningfully by grouping them. For example, students who always sit together is assumed as friends. Have a look at the image given below. In this figure, we tend to perceive the first 3 stars as a group, next group of 2 stars. Similarly, we group other stars also. Similarity principle. If there is similarity in the objects, they are grouped together and perceived even if they are away. For example, you can see circles, squares and triangles here. We assume circles as a group, squares as another group and triangles as another group. This is similarity principle. Next one, continuity principle. Any stimulus which extends in the same direction or shape will be perceived as a whole figure. Example, birds flying in one direction are perceived as a group. And you can see 2 figures here. In the figure A and B, we don't simply separate curves, lines or stars and lines. We see them as a whole group. Closure principle. When a stimulus is presented with gaps, the human tendency is to perceive that figure as complete one by filling the gap psychologically. Here we can see letter M, A, rectangle and a circle because we use closure principle to see the outer world meaningfully. And the last one here is symmetry principle. Objects which are having symmetrical shapes are perceived as groups. Here in the first 2 picture, even it is broken, it has a symmetrical shape, a rectangle or a square. So we perceive it as a whole one. The next 2 are mirror reflections. These are also perceived as a group. This principle explains our love for symmetrical shape. We find faces with symmetry more appealing. And now we have perceptual constancy. This refers to stableness in our perception. We have a tendency to perceive the objects as relatively stable and unchanging in shape and size in spite of a change in the image that we receive. That is the reason why we see a door as a door itself, even it is fully opened, half opened or closed. In these 3 cases, the shape is different, but we know the doors remains the same even the shape is changed. Perceptual constancy depends upon several factors like experience, expectancy habits, motivation, cognitive styles, learning, imagination, etc. Types of perceptual constancies. There are different types of perceptual constancies: shape constancy, color constancy, size constancy and brightness constancy. So what do you mean by color constancy? Color will be the same even if the lighting is changed. A red rose is red only if we see it in a dark room. The size constancy means here also the size remains the same even if the distance is changed. Shape constancy. The shape remains fixed when the angle of viewing is changed. For brightness constancy, the brightness remains the same even if the lighting is changed. Next one, depth perception. It is the ability of a person to perceive the distance is known as depth perception. Even a 5-month baby can judge the depth when his or her eyes become capable of working together. This is a very important ability to judge the distance between us and other people, objects and vehicles moving, particularly when we are on road. This is also known as third dimension. The other 2 dimensions are left and right and above and below. And we have some cues which help us to perceive depth clearly. Those are monocular cues and binocular cues. The cues given by the single eye which help us to perceive the depth is a monocular cue. With the help of 2 eyes, we can perceive the depth by binocular cues. These are the cues provided by both eyes. Now the factors affecting perception. There are individual differences in perceptual abilities. 2 people may perceive the same stimulus differently. So the first one here is perceptual learning, mental set, cognitive styles, motives and needs. Perceptual learning. Based on past experience or any special training that we get, every one of us learn to emphasize some sensory input and to ignore others. That is why blind people identify other people by their voice or by sounds of their footsteps. Mental set. It refers to preparedness or readiness to receive some sensory input. Such expectancy keeps the individual prepared with good attention and concentration. For example, when we are expecting the arrival of a train, we listen to its horn or sound even if there is a lot of noises or disturbances. Motives and needs. Our motives and needs will definitely influence our perception. For example, a hungry person is motivated to recognize only the food item among other articles while he is reading. His attention cannot be directed towards other things until his motive is satisfied. And the last one is cognitive styles. People are said to differ in the ways they characteristically process the information. Every individual will have his or her own ways of understanding the situation. It is said that people who are flexible will have good attention and they are less affected by interfering influences and to be less dominated by internal needs and motives than people at a constricted end. So that's all about perception. I hope you all enjoyed.